Hello everyone, welcome back to Stock Market Meridian. Today is 3rd August 2026 and you're watching today's pre-market report. Let's begin with global markets. Starting with the US markets, all the major indices closed in the green and US index futures are also currently trading in positive territory. Moving to the European markets, only the FTSE 100 index closed slightly in the red, while all the other major European indices ended the session with positive momentum. Now looking at the Asian markets, Japan, China and South Korea are currently trading in the red. So overall, today's global market sentiment remains mixed. Now let's move to commodities. US WTI crude oil is currently trading around $79 to $81 per barrel, while Brent crude is trading near $87 to $89 per barrel. On Friday, Indian crude oil futures ended nearly 1% lower, while natural gas futures closed with around 0.7% gains. In the precious metal segment, Indian gold futures closed almost flat with around 0.1% gains, while international gold futures are trading in positive territory. Meanwhile, Indian silver futures closed nearly 1.2% lower, whereas international silver futures are trading in the green. Now let's check the ADR data. On Friday, Reliance Industries, HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank ADRs closed in the negative. On the positive side, Wipro, Infosys and Dr. Reddy's Laboratories ADRs ended the session with strong gains. Now moving to the FII and DII data. On Friday, FIIs were net buyers of 277 crores, while DIIs remained strong net buyers of 2,264 crores. After nearly a week, FII activity turned almost neutral. However, this is not a major negative factor, as FII still managed to close the day on the buying side, while strong DII buying continued to provide support to the market. Now let's check the economic calendar. On Friday, China's manufacturing PMI came in weaker than expectations. Bank of Japan kept interest rates unchanged. Europe's CPI inflation data came in line with market expectations. And India's foreign exchange reserves increased compared to the previous week. Coming to today's important events. Today, India's S&P Manufacturing PMI for July will be released. From the US, both the S&P Manufacturing PMI and ISM Manufacturing PMI data for July will also be announced. And tomorrow, the market will closely watch the US job openings or JOLTS data. Before moving further, a quick reminder. I upload pre-market reports every morning before the market opens and post-market reports every evening after the market closes. So if you don't want to miss important market updates, make sure you like this video, subscribe to Stock Market Meridian and turn on the notification bell. Now let's move to the geopolitical update. President Donald Trump announced that the United States has agreed to temporarily pause its planned military strike against Iran after receiving requests from Tehran and several Middle Eastern countries to continue diplomatic negotiations. According to Trump, although the US military was fully prepared for action, the planned strike has been put on hold to give diplomacy another opportunity. The proposed agreement mainly focuses on two major points. The first, the complete reopening of the Strait of Hormuz to ensure uninterrupted global oil transportation and shipping. And second, a long-term solution to address Iran's nuclear program, which remains the key condition for avoiding further military escalation. Trump also stated that Israel supports this diplomatic approach, but the military pause will continue only if all parties quickly reach a final agreement. Meanwhile, Iran has made it clear that it is not reducing its military preparedness. Iran's acting defense minister stated that the country will continue treating every US threat seriously and will maintain full military readiness. Iran's foreign minister also warned that any new aggression from the United States or Israel will receive a strong response. For now, the temporary pause has reduced immediate tensions, but global markets will continue closely tracking these developments because any disruption in the Strait of Hormuz could directly impact crude oil prices worldwide. Now, let's look at today's major quarterly results. First, ITC Limited. Revenue showed improvement. However, EBITDA, net profit and margins declined on both a year-on-year and quarter-on-quarter basis. Overall, ITC delivered a weak set of quarterly results. Next, Maruti Suzuki. Maruti also reported higher revenue, but EBITDA, net profit and operating margins declined sharply on both yearly and quarterly comparisons. Overall, the results were below market expectations and quite disappointing. Next, Indian Oil Corporation. Revenue improved. However, EBITDA, net profit and margins declined significantly. This decline was largely expected because of the sharp rise in crude oil prices during recent geopolitical tensions. So, although the results look weak, the market had already anticipated this pressure. Next, ABB India.
Revenue, EBITDA, and net profit posted healthy growth. However, margins declined on both a yearly and quarterly basis. Overall, the numbers indicate good earnings growth, but some pressure on profitability.
Next, Glenmark Pharma. Except for a slight decline in quarter-on-quarter EBITDA margin, almost every major earnings parameter improved strongly. Overall, Glenmark reported a good set of quarterly numbers. Finally, Divi's Laboratories. Divi's Labs delivered an impressive performance. Revenue, EBITDA, net profit, and margins all improved strongly, making it one of the better quarterly results this season. Now coming to Gift Nifty. On Friday, Gift Nifty closed at the 24,381 level, and today it has opened with a 70-point gap up at around the 24,452 level. This indicates a strong gap up opening for the Indian markets today. And that's all for today's pre-market report. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Stock Market Meridian. I'll be back this evening with today's post-market report, where we'll cover all the market action and important updates. Thank you for watching. Signing off, Jai Hind.